Hey everybody, Monday night, Always Bookin Comedy. We got Frankie Runquist here from Atlanta, Georgia. Is that right?
Yep, that's right.
Awesome, awesome. How you doing? How's your week
I'm
going?
doing pretty good. Pretty good. Happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
So you got a tiger cub or lion cub over your shoulder?
Oh, yep. That's comes
Does it,
everywhere with me.
does it have a name? Is it Simba?
No, no, I actually never named it before.
Okay, all right, all right. Its new name is Always Bookin Comedy on Monday nights. We met at a show about a month ago, 2 months ago. I don't know. I was driving across the country. It's kind of a blur. On a Monday night, kind of famous institution in Atlanta. How long have you been in Atlanta?
So I've been splitting my time here since January, but now I officially moved here about 2 months ago now.
Okay, so the Lion Cub made it official.
Yep. I hung that up, and we're here.
Yeah,
Mhm.
full time. And where were you splitting time with?
Minneapolis.
Oh, that's right. Okay, cool. Yeah. I'm working on a trip out to Duluth, Minnesota, and Grand Rapids, Minnesota,
Yep.
pretty
Actually,
soon.
I grew up right in between those two cities.
Oh
Like
my goodness. Maybe
my
you can well, let's just pause and take a detour. So I'm setting up a show at a brewery in Grand Rapids, Minnesota. When would be the best time of year? The only answer is January. Does that sound good? Is that a good
Yep.
time to visit?
Actually, that's the best time for comedy. Like,
It is. I've done it several years in a row. The summer stinks,
yeah,
but if it's freezing outside, they'll take their snowmobiles over and fill up the room.
yeah, they
Uh,
do, and they do. They like to drink on their snowmobiles and just part and go wherever. Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely. So I got to sell a lot of tickets. You got any tricks for marketing shows in northern Minnesota?
just spamming everyone. They need reminders. Honestly, it's not too hard to sell tickets in Minnesota when it's winter, just because people were looking for stuff to do already, and
Yeah.
they want to get out the house, try new things, especially in non-competitive markets like that, where you never like comedy shows aren't happening regularly there. So you pull up in Grand Rapids, the whole Grand Rapids should show up. It should.
I like that term, non-competitive markets,
Yeah,
NCMs. I'm
yeah,
very strong in NCMs. Let
yeah,
everybody know. Mark Masters draws. He's
yeah,
moving tickets. He's moving
yeah.
product in NCMs, but he's doing good. He's filling rooms in NCMs. He's making it
Yeah.
happen.
The competitive markets don't worry about those ones. That
Okay, the
those ones don't
CMs.
matter.
Let's
Yeah,
let's 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 keep with the acronyms so people can't really
yeah,
tell what's going on here.
yeah.
Yeah, I wait for NCM over CM every day. Every day, I'm selling tickets. I'm moving them in the NCMs. Yeah, it is an NCM though. Do you? So, well, all right. Let's rewind a little bit. You have a thing that's pretty popular. You wanna introduce it?
Yeah, so I do a comedy dating show. It's called Funny Bachelors,
Okay.
and it's a mixture between. I mean, there's definitely some stand-up comedy up front to like kind of warm up the show, but then the other element of the show is live dating on stage, where we have first blind dates happening while a panel of comedians are riffing on it, making it hilarious, taking the seriousness out of the dating, really using every first date nuance as target practice. So they could either be, helping form a connection on stage or like lovingly sabotaging the whole thing. So really, whatever the vibe is for the singles.
What's it called?
It's called Funny Bachelors.
All right, Funny Bachelors is the
Mhm.
program, and it's all over the country, depending on where you are.
I'm working on that part, but
Okay.
I've been scaling it slowly and surely. But I did start it actually up in Duluth. It was the first time I actually started it up
No
there.
way. Wait, what
Yeah,
venue?
at Caddyshack,
Okay.
which is just like a little like golf dive bar. They have like virtual golf
Oh, I think I
events,
went to a barbecue place right next door to it.
probably. Um, and then I brought it to the Twin Cities and really workshopped it there, kind of figured it out,
From
like,
NCM to CM for anybody
yeah.
keeping score.
Yeah, and then I had, I was fortunate to have a venue that really up there, I was really able to work with and experiment with it. Because when I started the show, it looks nothing like how it does now. Like, it was just, I just really had no vision of what it would become. Like, I had no plan. Like, I was just doing it and figuring out as I went along. And so that room in Minneapolis was very experimental and fun, and I was able to kind of like learn and get some direction from there. And once I like kind of figured out the format, I ended up bringing it to Atlanta. Um,
Nice.
yeah, and so now I do it in Atlanta, and I still do it in Minneapolis, and then I do it in Eau Claire now, and I mean I plan to take it to Chicago soon, and
Cool.
yeah, and just and then hit the South. Like I need to hit more cities in the South, but it's been a
Sure.
process. It's hard to find venues. It's hard to find venues when you don't live there, and
Would you say that's the biggest challenge?
yeah, because also my show isn't just like a regular like pop-up show where you like the venues have like the you just need one mic. Like I need five mics. I need, I need good quality lighting. Um
Do you
and
bring
so
any of the equipment or you need the venue to supply it?
I have been having the venue supply it.
Okay.
And it's my whole life is hanging on by a thread. So it's if I had more funds, I could I could invest better, but it is yeah. I'm just really thugging it out, honestly. It's
Okay.
yeah.
All right.
But
Life
but
is a
yeah.
scam.
Yeah. But yeah, so I'm just trying to figure that part out, but it's been quite the adventure, and I'm just kind of taking it week by week, honestly. And it's in the it got accepted into a comedy festival, so I'll be back at 10K in October. And
Cool. That's a big one. Very reputable comedy
yeah,
festival,
yeah.
10,000 laughs.
They sought me out, so it was
Nice.
it was very
Amazing.
felt very
So
nice.
let me ask a little bit more about the format of the show. How are
Yeah.
these dates set up?
Yeah. So I actually have and now I have a casting director. So people apply. There's a whole
Hanging on
application.
by a thread, but has a casting director. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. A good friend that it's low budget casting director.
Okay.
Um but um but yeah, so they actually submit an application. And so then my casting guy kind of goes through the applications and he will like pair them. And I have like usually three blind dates on stage, not at the same time, but like throughout the night. And then at the end of the date, the main single of the night gets to decide if they want like a second date with the person the casting director hand selected, or if they want to roll the dice for someone in the audience. So
And how does that, is it random or they get to choose?
people opt in at the door. So the people
Right.
who
But
but it'd
the,
be random. It'd be random. Or
okay.
if they have been like flirting with someone, because we do have a single mixer before the show. If they've been, if they're flirting with somebody, they will, maybe peer pressure them, call them out, whatever. And that has happened. So not any.
Okay.
So you might not be fully safe, but usually most people who if they don't want to go on stage, they really don't have to. But
Huh.
most people want to go on stage. It's
Yeah.
fun,
People like
exciting.
attention. We're in an
Yeah.
attention economy.
Yeah.
Uh, so how many people showed up to your very first show?
Um, the very
Roughly.
first the very first show in Caddyshack was horrible, and I only did it one time in Duluth. Um, and it was in middle of June in Minnesota, and I was like pulling people in off the streets trying to get them in, and maybe we had like 8 people there or something.
Okay.
And the format was way different. It was a way different show.
Okay.
And then but the first real show it sold out. It was in and it felt like a bachelorette party. All these women were just revved up. It was very funny. But it was sold out in that room because it was a smaller room. It was probably about like 60 people there.
Okay.
Um for the first show. And yeah, and the numbers fluctuate, but we range between the lowest we've been getting is like 25 people, and then the highest we've hit like 120.
That's
So
awesome. That's
mhm.
awesome.
And then we range like the average is probably between like 40 to 60 on average.
Okay. And it works fine in that range.
Yeah, yeah. This it really like because in Atlanta, I've done 7 shows in Atlanta, and right off the bat, the market like was really good. We almost had like 60 people our first show, and it's like
So
55.
wait, pause right there. So how do
Yeah.
you get 60 people to a brand new show? Are you paying for ads? Are you out in the streets barking? Are you putting up posters? What's the marketing strategy?
All of above.
Okay.
I at first I spent a lot of time on the Beltline, and I was just barking a lot on there.
With like
Um,
flyers, or are you just pulling people aside and talking to them, or what's this look like?
Both. I mean, I would maybe have, like, a few flyers, but then I sometimes I just, like, just have them add me on Instagram, like, I would just pull them and then be like, "Oh, hey," it just depended on what my resources were at the time. But, and then I found, and because at that point when I first got here, I gotta find people to cast. So, like, I need singles on stage who wanna date. So that was my main, I was more so trying to find the singles when I first got here, so I was, like, very aggressive, like, in person, looking for single people. And then I found it more effective just to put a casting ad online, and that was, like, way more effective. I got way more applications submitted, saved energy, didn't have to be, you know, in
Where do you
person.
put that ad? Is there like a casting central Craigslist or something?
No, I use Instagram a lot. Instagram has been my main source of
Okay.
for applications, and,
How
and then
many
with
followers does your Instagram account have?
not that many, but,
How do
like
people find it?
like
Are you boosting it?
yeah, I'm boosting it, yeah. I
Okay.
have, like, 2,200
Okay.
followers.
That's solid. Yeah.
Yeah, and then, and then, um and then the singles, because they are dating on stage, like, they're gonna bring friends. So that was it's kind of built-in little audience when you have 6 singles, on stage, they're gonna bring friends. So that
It's like a
kinda that
sneaky bringer show.
yeah. Yeah.
Nice.
And so it does help because, like, when I for whatever reason, I don't know, I have no I don't have the answers on how to like, I'm still a mess on figuring this stuff out, but when I feel like I can't have when there when I can't find the visibility I need, and sometimes it's the venue, maybe, like, location, whatever, it's, like, a tougher part to move tickets because, the singles are built in, I can at least safely know there might be, like, 20 people
Yeah.
there. And
Sure.
so and then that just depends on the audience at that point because, smaller audiences can be a lot of fun, but sometimes I it is just way better when the show sells out. Um,
Yeah.
it's just way more fun, way more energy. But like our last show, we probably had closer, like maybe like 25, almost 30, and
Okay.
it was so fun.
Yeah.
Um, so it just depends
Well,
on.
I'm sure there's also a financial element. Like you need to sell X tickets to break even and not have your
Mm.
thread snap.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. It's been tough.
Yeah. So tell me about the very first venue you got in Atlanta. How did
Yeah.
you find a venue? What was it? What was it like? What was good? What was bad?
Yeah, so it took me 3 months to find a venue, and, I was just hitting, like, the open mics, getting to know comedians, networking, asking them, like, "Hey, which venues are good here?" And, I ended up coming across, like, someone gave me a tip for this venue, it's Argosy in East Atlanta Village, and,
Oh, I've been there with the big octopus in the back
yeah,
room. Oh,
yeah,
that's
yep.
such a cool venue for that. It's so hip. It's awesome.
Yeah, yeah,
With a
so we have it
pinball
back
machine
there.
and the skee ball and the upper de do you have people in the upper deck?
Yeah, when it was hitting the 40s, 50s, people be in the upper deck, yeah.
That's
Um,
rad. Cool.
yeah, and so, yeah, no, it's a very, very
I
unique
don't know if
space.
you don't have to answer this, but, like, did you have to pay to get in there or, like, how did
No, mm-mm, and they're very, like, the manager, his name's Tim, shout out to him, but he really believes in the show, he's like, "I wanna do whatever I can to help it succeed." And so, like, our first show, every ticket holder got a free drink, like, for the
Oh,
first 2
cool.
show yeah, so he was, like, really trying to help get, the word out.
Shout out Tim.
Yeah, and so he lets me keep 100% of the ticket sales, they keep 100% the bar.
Yep.
But yeah, so they're, like, really amazing to work with, and they've they've helped, tremendously. And for the first show, they provided a DJ for me, so that was really nice.
Oh, that's so nice. Great food at the Argosy too, everybody. Check it out next time you're in Atlanta.
Yeah,
Unheralded, the East Atlanta Village, EAV.
yeah, for
Okay, cool. So, and they had the 5 mics for you there?
The tech has been a little difficult because at first I did, and then then one mic went out, and then we've been having like I think they find like our last show the mics are a lot better, but like there's always like some kind of, sorry, my dog is like, I don't know if you can hear him in the background, but yeah, so there's always like some kind of like tech issue happening. Well, and ever since I started the show, there's like always like some little, could be some little something minor or something big happens. And
Yeah,
so just having five, we have four mics, so we have to have one comedian share, which I'm like trying to fix that because it is tough sharing mics.
yeah,
But but um but having like 4 to 5 mics on at a time, it's just, I feel like we need to have like an actual tech guy, like hire somebody out eventually. But right
yeah.
now I'm kind of roughing it.
Yeah,
But this,
eventually, you'll have a television studio, you're gonna buy
yeah,
out
yeah,
ABC or Netflix, so we got big dreams here.
yeah, exactly.
I love it.
um, so yeah, see how I have like problems with tech when in my home base on the show I'm doing monthly. It does make me nervous bringing it on the road and
Mhm.
trying to find all that. But I already wear a lot of hats, so like
Yeah,
in an ideal world, I would love to have a comedian on the road with me that is also a techie that
yeah,
could be on the show and also help me with this. But trying to find that right fit for me, it's a process to find the right
yeah,
comedian. So,
of course.
mhm.
Um, okay, cool. Let's talk a little bit about you and your comedy trajectory. Like, why did you start this show? How far into comedy were you?
Yeah. So, I'm like about like 4.5 years into comedy now. Um, I started this show when I was moved. I lived in Texas for a very long time, and I moved back home to my family in
Mhm.
Minnesota, and it was just I quit comedy for a very long time. Like I tried it out in Austin for like 6 months, quit it, and I quit for like 2.5 years. So when I started doing it again, I was very shocked that I was even doing it again. But I was just having fun with it. I was kind of bored being back in Minnesota. So I
Mhm.
was just having fun again. And so when I first started it, it was more so as a joke. I was already putting on different shows in the Duluth scene and just kind of experimenting with like wacky ideas and things like that, and trying just
Which scene?
in the Duluth comedy scene.
Really? Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. Duluth is like one of my home bases. I performed there like 4 times. It's probably one of probably top 3 places I've been to most outside of Colorado. Do you
Oh,
know,
wow.
oh, come on, Mark. What's
Danielle?
her name? His name,
Dan
their name.
Danielle
Uh,
Trollo? No?
say it again?
Danielle Trollo?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, yeah,
Yep,
yeah.
yep,
Yeah,
yep,
small world. That's
yep.
awesome. That's cool.
Mhm.
Have
Yeah,
you
no,
performed at, what's the Irish bar? Dublin's.
yep, that was one of my home stages there for sure.
That's
And
awesome.
that seems very tight. Back when I was there, we were all very like a little tight little scene, and we're all learning, trying to figure out comedy together and having fun, and like it was a group of the most misfits comedians I've ever seen put together. People you normally probably wouldn't see be friends or friends, and
Yeah.
so at the time, like we had a ritual, like we would go after the open mic. We only had like one good open mic the whole week, so like it was like a room full of real people, and so we would get this high after the Thursday mic because we're like, oh, like this is all we have. So we would always go out to like Pizza Luce, and we would just like be just cracking jokes with each other and having fun, and like it just felt like this a sitcom, honestly. And so, but like what made me get the idea was we I was riffing with some of the guys, and these group of misfits, bless their hearts, they never get female attention. They are struggle with
I've
that.
met some
And
of these kids. I know
yeah,
them. I get that energy.
yeah. And so I was joking with them, and I was like, I'm gonna put a whole show on just so you guys can get attention.
Uh-huh.
I didn't use that word. I don't know if I can say it on here, but and so I was like, we're gonna get you some action, basically. And so I framed it as date a comedian, save a life. because they,
Okay.
they need love, right? They're on the verge of
They're
whatever.
hanging by half a thread.
Yeah. So, the whole show was meant to just objectify comedians, and it was supposed to be funny,
Okay.
and so male comedians specifically, and so, it was just like show to kind of dunk on them a little bit in a fun way that maybe got them female attention, and
Hmm.
so,
And
yeah,
where
that's
was
kind of
that?
that was at Caddyshack that first
Okay.
time. That did not go good. It was just so weird. I mean, the whole format was just crazy, and so, and then, once I brought it to Minneapolis, I realized. I mean, I did one more. I changed up the format, but it was similar. It was a similar vibe. I changed things up around, and then I realized that after that show, that it's act like this is one comedian I booked. He actually saw a girl he was interested in the audience and pulled her up and was like really trying to lay it on her, and it was and she had chemistry with him too, and they were like flirting, but they were also like enemies. It was like this chemistry. It was cringy. It was beautiful, and I was like, you know what? It's way better if it's not comedians. If these are real people, because he was the only comedian not trying to be in a character. And
Hmm.
so he was actually being vulnerable, putting himself out there. And that's when I was like, oh, this show needs to have real people plus comedians, because that makes the cringiness, the awkwardness way more fun. And so yeah, that shifted the whole direction of my show after the second show I've done, for the Funny Bachelors.
Huh.
Um, yeah, so Funny Bachelors was named because it was supposed to be just the comedians being
Right.
dating. But I just kind of kept the name just because I just liked the name, and it was just like
Sure.
whatever. Everyone can be a funny bachelor. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And so, but yeah, that's kind of like where it stemmed from. And at that time, like with comedy, I was just trying to prove to myself that like I could grow in something and not quit, and
Hmm.
actually get good, try to get good at it, or whatever.
Yeah.
And so that at that time I really wasn't like thinking, oh, this is going to be all of a sudden my only source of income in my whole life will be hanging out by a thread. But I did not plan for that. but but yeah, so I just at that time that was really my motivation, was just to
So,
have fun with it.
are you also focused on being a stand-up?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Are
And
you going to Mike's in Atlanta?
yep. And I just did the Star Bar twice back to back. So
Nice.
yeah, so that was really fun. And but yeah, no, I feel like a way stronger comedian. And especially hosting my show it's a different beast hosting this show than hosting just a regular like traditional show.
Okay.
And so I feel like that hosting my show has made me so much stronger as a comedian. Um and so but yeah, so at first I wasn't like I would host my show sometimes, then I would have someone else host my show because I was like, oh, I just want to sit back on the panel and have fun. I don't want to think about everything else. There's so many mental tabs I had open. But then I was like, you know what? I need to conquer my show to be a better comedian, and then and now I feel like a lot stronger. But that's not the only stand up I do, yeah, of course. But just that having that as, a constant thing
Yeah.
really really definitely made me more a stronger host, a stronger comedian
Yeah, I
for
wonder.
sure.
I've seen this thing where comics, it's like a model where they have a kind of successful, I guess you call it a gimmick show, like a comedy gimmick event. And then they'll go to like a very small comedy club and they'll do a back to back where they like do their stand up, like,
Hmm.
like maybe headline the show. And then after that, they run their show. So be
Oh
like
wow.
Frankie Runquist in Fargo, North Dakota at 7 p.m. and at 9 p.m. it's Funny Bachelors.
Oh
And so
wow.
the club can like make some Funny Bachelors is proven. It's definitely going to bring some people out. Or maybe do the opposite. Maybe the early show is the Funny Bachelors, and then the stand-up comedy show is afterwards. If you have your tech person on the road with you, and maybe your booking person or some other comics to
Hmm.
make it good, then they can also do a traditional stand-up set kind of
Yeah.
back to back.
Well, yeah, technically I do have traditional stand up built within my show.
Yeah.
But that is a very interesting like, combination. So that's definitely something to consider in the future if that's,
Yeah.
um
The person that I can remember best who does that is Corey David. He's out of Denver, started in Buffalo, New York. and there is an Always Booking Comedy episode for anybody listening or watching to this with Corey David. And he talks a lot about I forget what it's called, true crime stories, or no, it's called Interrogation, but it's about people who have had run-ins with the law, and it's a whole comedy show and storytelling kind of thing. But he's definitely done that, gone out and, headlined a show and done his interrogation show.
Wow.
Do you film your shows at all? Do you get releases? Do you put out content?
Yep, I do. That's been a whole process. But I definitely started in Atlanta. I upped the quality. In Minneapolis, it was kind of like, kind of relying on like local comedy scene to help me out here and there, and people who maybe don't have that much experience, with my low budgeting style show. But in Atlanta, I definitely upped the quality and have been putting out clips. I haven't released the full episodes anywhere yet. Normally,
You should do that. That would make you a little bit of money.
I started the process on it, and then I can't remember why I stopped. But I think I get so like, if I release the full thing, I feel like I need to cut it down into like 20 minutes of highlights, or and then just
like edit it somehow.
Yeah, there's so much editing, so much work, and I know I just have to do it. It's just
or just put them out. Just say they're unedited. You get the full episode. Sell it like it is the full episode.
Yeah.
Let people edit it in their heads. And if they want to support you, and if you're in front of 60, 100, 200 people a month that you can push the Patreon, somebody, they set up their credit card for $3, $5 a month, and they forget about it, and you just keep getting the checks.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
So tell us about your worst or best guest that you had on a non-comedian participant.
Oh God. Okay, well, in the earlier shows, we had this guy, when I say he's the worst though, I guess he was entertaining, but he got, one of the comedians baited him with a question, and he took the bait. And actually, no, I can't even blame the comedian for this. He barely baited him. He actually gave him an out. Okay, he gave him an out. He didn't take it. But his question was, what is one of your favorite slurs? And he's like, you don't have to say it. But he did say it. And so
where was this?
Minneapolis.
Okay, Minneapolis. Okay.
In the earlier shows. And then, so yeah, he, luckily, like, I mean, the comedians knew how to handle it, and it was fine. It was funny, and like he got roasted and stuff. But I don't know if he would be the worst though. That was just one of the moments that was like,
that's insane. Memorable for sure.
Yeah, a memorable, insane moment. And then I've had, like, I would say the worst guests though are people who are maybe too sensitive, I would say, maybe, or like they walk away from, and this doesn't happen very much, but sometimes the show isn't a good fit for them and they think it is. And as much as we try to like prep them for what they're signing up for, and there is an application process there now. This is actually built in now from trial and error, but now I have it to where, like, if you have any triggers or you don't want certain topics being brought up, this is where you put it in. Like, we'll, on your date specifically, we'll stay away from it. But in the past, like, there's, someone will have an issue with something being discussed or some joke, so the sensitivity, I feel like the best type of singles to have on the show is people who are can roll with the punches, are flexible, like they don't take themselves too seriously. And because the show, they don't like flame you, they're not like mean comedians, they don't just like tear you apart, because then it's not funny, then no one's having fun,
right?
So it's not like we're like mean to these singles, but sometimes people get sensitive, so I think maybe that is where I would say, like, that's not, it's just not that, it just happens where it's not that great fit. But But yeah, and then I think like the best guests are the people who are down like with peer pressure. like like we peer pressure, like we've had
Susceptible.
people, yeah, we had people, get up and have a dance battle. They've had, they've kissed. This last show I'd probably say was, oh, sorry, my dog.
There's the dog.
Yeah, he's being needy right now. But the like just our last show, he was a virgin. He is a virgin, and he's never kissed anyone before, and he's 25 and all that stuff. And so
Whoa.
we were able to peer pressure with his full consent. Like he was wanting to like kiss, but like he was just down in the moment to like let his first kiss be on stage,
Yeah.
and so he ended up having a kiss from his date, who happened for a special like twist. She was blindfolded while her sister dated for her, basically, because her sister signed her up without her knowing. So we were like,
Okay.
you know what, let's just have you like advocate for your sister, find her man. And so they ended up kissing while she's blindfolded, and then someone from the audience volunteered, and he had two kisses. so
Wow.
so
See, this is
yeah,
great Patreon content. This is what I'm talking about. People are gonna tune in. They're gonna want to know
yeah, right.
how that story ends. All right, we got it. The dog has signaled. It's time to wind it down. Tell me one more question, and then we'll promote you. What's like probably the most valuable lesson you've learned running this show? Multiple cities, it's grown, it's adapted, etc.
Yeah, I would say that like the most valuable lesson I learned, I think, is that like it it always works out. Like every between every like little mistake and success and failure, like it's just you just keep going. Like you just figure it out, and so I would say like I guess the biggest lesson I've learned is that yeah, no matter what the ticket sales are, it seems it finds its way. It works out. I haven't had to cancel a show yet, but also that it's really rewarding. Like bringing people together, seeing them connect, and it's like seeing the power of community and culture being formed wherever you go, and like that's to me is really beautiful lesson in all of
Yeah,
this is to find what it's worth. Like, why are you doing it?
yeah,
And the why behind it is what keeps me going, because um through all the hardship, it's like, okay, actually seeing these genuine like connections starting to form, like it is kind of matchmaking, not just like a show. And so having seen success from people going on with second dates and all that is actually like, oh wow, this is not just like let's rip on singles. And
yeah.
then yeah, people just being genuine fans. So I don't know if that answers it or if I'm articulating it correctly, but
I think there were a lot of lessons in there. That's great, Frankie.
yeah.
Thank you so much for your time. It's called Funny Bachelors. Everybody check it out. What's the Instagram for Funny Bachelors?
Just Funny Bachelor's one word.
Awesome. Amazing. And that will also be the Patreon very soon. So go to
Yeah.
patreon.com/funny bachelors. When you watch this, if it's 6 months in the future, it might be there.
Yeah.
You'll be very lucky. And what else? Where's your Instagram?
My Instagram is this girl Frankie, with periods in between each whatever.
This
And
dot girl dot Frankie.
mhm.
You can see her all around Atlanta, sometimes at Star Bar, and soon in Wisconsin, maybe back in Minnesota, barnstorm in this country.
Yeah.
Great chatting with you, Frankie. Good luck
Thanks.
to you, your dog, Simba on the wall. We'll see everybody next Monday. We got a huge back catalog of episodes. I got a new podcast called Mark and Jake Try to Make It. Look for that on my channel. We got thanks from North Carolina. Everybody have a great week. Bye-bye. Oops.
Bye. Thanks.
Let's do